Hi, Simone. I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to chat to you today. Thanks so much for taking the
Hello.
time. Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Huge congrats on the show.
Thank you.
I believe John, the showrunner, had sort of had the original concept of some kind of love letter to sort of a 90s blockbuster. And I feel like he's really delivered in the sort of incredible combination of this action spectacle, but really also a very human driven drama. Was that what really appealed to you when you first read the script?
When I first read the script, it was nothing like I had read before. It was so different and interesting. And I actually had to read it twice to kind of make sure I was in, it was, there's so much going on. So then to read it and then to see it is so vastly different again because it's so action packed and it is very 90s. It feels like the shows we all grew up watching, or, when there's nothing else on television and you put that on, you're like, oh my God, it's Michael Douglas in some big action blockbuster. So I have to say it was very unique. It was incredibly fresh. And so when I got the offer, I was over the moon. I thought, okay, what can I do with this? Because it's quite vastly different from the roles I normally play. And so I thought, yeah, I want to have a go at this. Yeah.
And obviously, the relationship between Sarah and Frank is so key to kind of the emotional heart of the film, and she's very much his anchor. Um, what was your approach to developing that dynamic with him? And I believe you're actually already friends before you came on set, so that
Well,
must have really helped.
that was okay. So that's a really interesting question, Sarah, because the reason being I watch a lot of, great television and film, and I never believe that they're a couple. Do you know what I mean? Like you can see I myself have been married for, 20 years. And so when I watch, and maybe I'm too critical or opinionated, but when I watch on-screen couples, I often don't believe them. I wanted to come into this with such a familiarity between this couple. Like we created our backstory that them perhaps have been together since high school. It's just, and as relationships grow, you move into different, you know, in your relationship, you fold into different times, like you're in love and then you're just best friends. And I wanted to maintain that. And so the familiarity between Jason and I was absolutely key to make this work. I have to say, for me, because I'm very critical of my work, when I pulled back and just watched it, to me, I'm very proud to say that it's incredibly believable. I actually believe they are husband and wife. And that is from, I've known Jason for 20 odd years. So it's that really, really helped, I think.
And for you, what would be maybe more challenging? Would it be these very sort of emotionally wrought scenes? Would it be more of the, survival kind of action scenes? I mean, that moment in the first episode, even when they're sat talking in the car, your sort of heart's really in your mouth and you really sort of feel what she's saying so viscerally.
Yeah. So she carries grief, obviously, and as the show progresses, we find out that something horrendous, like immeasurable, has happened to the family. And so playing each scene, the stakes are so high. They've been through just the worst thing you can imagine. So she's vulnerable, she's thin-skinned, and you feel that and you see that in Sarah. And knowing I had a friend and an ally in Jason, I could be incredibly vulnerable in that, but also an immense love. And that's what I really wanted to bring to this, is to show an absolute love between these two people. They are each, they say that some species of birds mate for life. That's what these two are. And just having that and holding so it wasn't a challenge for me. It was something I wanted to achieve. And as the show progresses, you see that. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, it's a really beautiful performance. So really well done. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing all that with me. I can't wait for everyone else to see the last one too.
Thank you,
Thanks so much.
Sarah.